Hello, everybody. It's Marshall. I want to thank everybody for coming over here and subscribing to my new channel. I'm so excited, y'all. I've got a lot of stuff I'm going to show you that's not cooking that a country boy can do. I hope it's interesting to you. I hope you have fun with me as Lynn and I bring you all along with us on trips, expeditions, places of interest. We're going to go everywhere, y'all, and I want to take you with me. Today I'm going to show you how to do something that I learned a few years ago. It's real fun. It makes real beautiful art. And it's called anthill art. That's where I go around and I find these ant beds that have been abandoned by the fire ants, make some of the most beautiful sculptures with these fire ant beds, y'all. I cannot wait to show you this. Come on, let me show you how I did it. Okay, everybody, let me show you what we're working with today. See this fire ant bed? That board right there is probably a good 14 inches straight across. Probably about 10 inches high from the ground. This one's abandoned. I know that because I put this hole in it about a week ago and nothing's come up to repair it. So we're going to cast it. Now I've showed y'all the finished product on my Facebook page. Let me show you how I did this. The exact same one you seen on Facebook is the one we're fixing to do. Let me go over some of my equipment here. What I'm using right here, this is called a foundry furnace thing. I made this one years ago. I used to like to play around with sand casting. You gotta have this burner. See the burner here? That thing sounds like a jet when it's going. Gotta have your gas. Gotta have this. This is called a crucible. This thing will sit right down into that. Like that. Then you get your blower. And I've got a hole right down there that I stick this thing in. And what it does, it shoots in there at an angle and makes fire whirl around this whole thing right here, and it heats it up. So that's how it works. It takes aluminum around 1220 degrees to melt, so that's how hot this stuff will be. So you got to have safety in place. Got my gloves. Of course, I'm wearing a long sleeve thick cotton thing. And got to have a face mask, see that? And last, of course, you got to have a piece of aluminum to melt. I've got this old splicer here that I'll never use again. So we're gonna melt this up and cast a fire ant bed today with it. Okay, check this out, everybody. See the burner in there? What it's gonna do is make that fire go around and around that cylinder. And then when you put aluminum down in there, when it comes around 1220 degrees right in there, that aluminum will start melting. Okay, and now as you can see, this is my total setup. I've got my step ladder right here to help hold this aluminum rod. Sometimes I got aluminum, you know, that's probably short. I don't know how to do this too, but when they're long like this, I support them with some kind of support system. Yeah, it's down in there. That thing will start melting in a minute. It's going to give me probably about 7 pounds of aluminum to work with. See that mark right there? You know that thing's melting when that mark starts disappearing. See how it's going down? Going down into that. Look how hot that is. Let's make the pour. This thing is heavy. Look how hot that thing is. Okay, check it out, y'all. That's what it looks like. It's like a little volcano. I'm gonna let this sit about a good 30 minutes, and then we're gonna dig it up and see what it looks like. It's gonna be a pretty one. Like I say, everybody, there's no two of these art forms here the same. That aluminum goes down and it goes into all the little tunnels and everything. All right, I'll be back and we'll dig it up. Okay, now comes the fun part. We're gonna barely start scratching into this dirt all the way around this. We're wanting to find the outer parts of the sculpture. We don't want to break it. See, I can already see some right there. Being very careful. Right here's where you got to be very patient, because you don't want to break a real pretty part of the sculpture off. See it start forming. Okay, as you can see, I've carefully got a lot of the dirt out from around it. I'm just taking my time. I'm giving this thing time to dry. Most of the time, you're going to lose a little of it when it comes out of the ground. You try to make that minimum as possible, though. All right, let's get the shovel. It's going to barely go around it like this. Getting about 4 or 5 inches from it. All right, that's the one that did it. And what I'm going to do is just gradually get some of this dirt out from around it, because I don't know how deep it is. The grass has got a lot of roots and it sure ain't helping. Okay, at this point, I'm going to have to get my hot gloves back on, because this boy is still hot. Okay, here it comes. There's obvious pieces like this that's going to come off, so I'm going to go ahead and take them off. Some of them just can't be helped. You hate losing it, but that's the way it goes with these things. All right, let's lift this out. All right. Carefully remove the dirt. Look at that, y'all. It's going to be a beautiful one here. Okay, now this right here is in some of this red Georgia clay. See that slate? So what I'm going to do is be very careful and pick a lot of that out with this pick here. That's what we're doing next. Look at that. I know you've seen the finished product when I showed it to you on my page, even before I've got it done. This is what it looked like when it came out of the ground. Just barely getting in there, getting all the dirt I can out. And then I'm going to hose and then pressure wash it off. Getting down in all those little cracks and crevices. Just taking my time. Like I say, you can break one of these things too when they're still sort of fragile right now. But when these things harden up, they're there. It'll probably be even better to leave this thing in the ground even a couple of hours. But I was excited to get it up and show it, yeah. Oh, this is gonna be beautiful. But anyway, I don't want to bore y'all. This is what it looks like now. I'm going to pick this dirt out of it, then I'm gonna hose it off and get all I can. Then I'm gonna pressure wash it off and get the rest of it. I'll be back and show you what that looks like. Okay, folks, I've been into this probably about a good hour and a half, just picking. Let me see how much I got unveiled. This is the hardest part, getting all this dirt out between these tunnels and things. It's just coming along. Look at that. Okay, everybody. Here it is. I've got it picked pretty good. It's not completely done. I still got a lot of rocks and stuff I've got to get out. But you can see it starting to form. Look at that, how pretty it's turning out. See that? I'm still trying to figure out which way I'm going to have it sitting. Probably going to be something like that. You can see the front of it. See all those tunnels? All right, let's finish cleaning it up. Okay, now that we've got the ant bed completely cleaned, I've got this thing primed real good with a good metal primer. You can see I'm using aluminum rods to bring it out of the base. Let me show you the base. Here's the base, everybody. I'm using it's probably about 1.5 inches thick slab of block. I hold onto that screw as I'm painting all this thing. I stained it cocoa. I got a good layer of polyurethane on it. So there's the base. What I'll end up doing, see these rods right here, I'll end up getting them fixed right here on this base, and I'll mark them, and I'm gonna drill some holes down in there, put some epoxy in it, and get this boy set. Something like that, but a lot lower. You get the picture. Okay, so here we have the ant bed. And look, I was gonna paint this thing chrome, but I decided on this color. It's the closest thing I could come to brass. You know, this is only because, check this out. My little tag I'll be putting on it says consider the ant. And it's like a brassy gold looking color. And so as I put this on the piece of log, it'll all turn out beautiful. Check this out. I've already got it shaking real good. Okay, so granted this raw aluminum has already been primed with the primer, the metal primer. And here I go with the color, y'all. It's gonna be like a golden brass. Look at this, how beautiful. Watch how fast this thing changes. I mean, it changes fast. Gorgeous. See that? I've got that primer on. That primer's gonna make it to where this paint won't just scratch off and you see the silver under it. It's gonna stick to that primer. Trying to hold the camera and squirt and spray at the same time. Trying to hold the camera and spray at the same time. But yeah, even the legs, all of them's getting it turned. And they're so beautiful. Can't wait to see the finished product. Can't wait to show it to y'all. Okay, after I've got it sprayed real good, y'all, real good, I'll spray the post here. Final color, since they've already been primed too. Just spray them good. Get a good thick layer of the brass / gold. I think it's more gold than brass, but it matches brass better than silver. Now we're not done yet. We're going to be cutting these boards off even, depending on how thick I want to go down into this wood. Okay, everybody, it's been a few days, but I finally got back to finishing this thing up. It's gorgeous. It turned out perfect. Y'all check this out. See that? See how beautiful that is? I got this painted gold just so it would match my little brass plate here. See if you can read that. It says, consider the ant. And it's really marvelous, y'all, to check this out. It's really fascinating to see all the tunnels and things that they dig for their colony. Each one of them knows what their job is. So there it is, y'all. It's completely gorgeous. I'll turn it all the way around. See the aluminum rods? That's not going nowhere. I got them drilled down in my wood with some epoxy down in it. It's not going nowhere. But that's it. Look how pretty that is. I want to thank everybody for joining me on my new channel. It's Marshall. Got a lot planned. But just want to let you know how pretty this turned out. And do not try this at home. Don't try pouring these things if you ain't got no experience in pouring them. They're very dangerous. Like I say, that aluminum was 1221 degrees just to melt. You know, it probably goes higher than that to keep it melted like it does. So I take all safety precautions. I usually do this for a hobby, give it away to family and friends. But there it is, y'all. Thank you for checking me out on It's Marshall. Until next time.